So a big challenge for today in our green farming with our corn is when we first started planting, we were planting all the 96-day corn, so 96 days of maturity, and Rick has that container in his hand because he was taking corn out of the bottom of the seeders so that he could make sure that he has a pretty equal amount left in each of these as we finish off the 96-day corn, because we're switching over to 103-day. So it's important to have all your spots equally dispersed with the corn, so when you run out at once rather than having to empty out all of them. So some of them he just went right down to the pocket or just a little above it. Nothing's ever real simple, it seems like. You only want to open so many bags because you don't want to have a bunch of open bags of variety that you're not using. Because like with everything, the seed is expensive. You can't make money if you're not being careful with all your decisions. What's interesting is I can't really stand out here and talk to them while they're filling up the seed hoppers, because if I mess them up, they're going to have the wrong day corn going into the field. And it's nothing but calculating, figuring, measuring, a lot of steps. So I get to be a bystander and I can't talk too much to them because I can mess them up. How's it going, Rick?
Great. 60 degrees planting weather.
Excellent.
Best wind. I'm going to back up here and put some fertilizer in the fertilizer hopper.
Okay. So welcome to the next step of getting back into this field. Now just so you know, Rick had come from another field this morning. He had to travel about 8 miles to get to this field. I ran out and got the truck with the seed in it, and somebody else brought up the fertilizer truck. So now we're getting this ready to plant this field right over here, this 40 acres. And we've switched over to a variety of 103-day maturity of our corn. And because I'm looking at the fertilizer truck and I'm watching how this fertilizer fills into their hoppers, it sure would be a lot easier if our corn was that way. But when you're doing a lot of different varieties of corn with all different maturity dates, you certainly can't have it all in one big truck like this. That's why we end up going with seed bags. So we're just waiting for it to come through, and you will see how they fill each of these with fertilizer. As you can see, they just do one side at a time. So it's coming through the leg and it's pushing through. And as each of the hoppers fill, it'll stop. Then it'll start filling more of the next one, and then it'll fill the last one. I always think this is such a mesmerizing thing to watch. You might not think so, but I think it's cool. And then as this fills up, once again, the guys are over there making their plan. Beautiful day, not too much wind. I'll come back in a moment when one of the hoppers fills. It's always a positive thing to be upwind from the fertilizer blowing. So Rick, what are you doing?
Rusty slide open.
Is it jamming up?
Picking a farmer's truck.
Yep. How did you know it was jamming up, Rick?
It moves pretty hard.